Welcome back to another video with your boy Abe Shaw. This is the first time I feel like in a minute where I've done like a Q&A session, but I feel like it's going to be a good one. Like you guys asked me some pretty good questions. For those that's just following me on YouTube, on Instagram, today I actually posted a poll. I'm like, hey, send me all your questions that you have in regards to trading. I'll go ahead and answer it, whatever the question it is, and I'm put it in this vlog. And I wasn't putting in the vlog, but I was like, you know what? I want to make it actually like separate, like, because I feel like the questions y'all ask me should be its own video within itself. And I feel like whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced trader, it's still some value for everybody that's from these questions that I feel like my answers are definitely like some good advices. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the first question being, when did you know that you would be good at trading? So I feel like my experience was a little bit different from others, only because at the time when I started first learning how to investing, my mentor at the time, he gave me a strategy to use, and I already had like a mindset of like I already knew I wanted to know how to trade, right? So I already took that strategy, I ran with it. I was already marking up support and marking up resistance. I want to say like within my first 3 months, I knew that I can be like really good at trading because I was having $100 days. Like I think I started in like June or July-ish, and then by the time school started, which was in September, October, I was starting to average $100 days. That was back in my GBP days when I was trading the Great British Pound USD. If you know, you know. Like people from that era, they used to call me Mr. GU for the reason. Next question: if you can give someone any advice before they start trading, what would it be and why? If I can give someone any advice before they start trading, what would it be and why? That's a good one too, because I feel like when people say like they want to start learning how to trade, like, oh Abe, teach me how to trade, or oh Abe, I want to learn how to trade, they don't really understand like the power of you asking me that question, right? So like for a beginner that's like that really want to learn how to trade, like my advice would be take it serious. Treat it as if you were learning how to learn a trade. You're going to school for a trade. That's the irony of me saying that. You're going to school for a trade. You're going to college the same way we go to college for 4 years, 5 years, for bachelor's degree programs, master degree programs, however long your field is in. Treat trading with that same mindset. Like make sure that you studying it because it has the opportunity to pay you for the rest of your life. Like you have the opportunity to create your own salary. I'm not talking about like small salaries. I'm talking about big salaries. I'm talking about high six figures salaries in the charts, and potentially one day millions if that's your goal. But I understand everybody have their own different goals. Some people don't even strive to be a millionaire. They might say like, oh, I just want to make 6 figures, and that's a good salary for me, and that's okay. That's still good. So my advice would be take trading serious. Treat it as if you was going to a 4-year degree program, and in that same breath, understand that the same way you gave college 4 years, give trading at least 4 years at minimum to learn the skills, to make your mistakes, because mistakes is going to happen, to figure out which strategies that you want to learn. All these different variables is going to play into you becoming a better trader and just really just growing as a trader in the long term versus just you trying to come in and getting rich off of one trade overnight, thinking that you got it now. But next question, how are you doing mentally? I appreciate this question. I appreciate it. Mentally, I'm doing good. I feel like I'm in a space where this year I finally like took some time to myself to really just focus on me, really focus on like my craft and what I actually accomplish, what I want to accomplish and what I want to see for myself for the rest of the year. I feel like I started off like when it's pertaining to trading, just in life in general. School, got my degree program, graduated, of course, was doing trading at the same time. Came out of school focused completely on trading, right? Had my signals checked since the beginning. Like I was always providing value, always waking up every morning, calling trades, sending out signals alerts, doing my things for the past 7 years. And I realized like I was always putting my energy into other people, which is still great. Like that's still like my passion, what I love to do. But I realized like, you know what, this year I want to really take a step back and really focus like on a whole nother scale, like really focus on the people that's appreciative of everything I'm teaching them and focusing on like just growing becoming a like even better trader than what I'm already doing, and just really focusing on how can I be even way more consistent than what I'm already doing, right? And that goes for trading, that goes for life, like from the physical standpoint, from the mental standpoint, like what books should I be reading, what gyms, how active am I going to the gym every single day, even down to for my mental, right? Taking trips, like really planning out what trips I want to go to or where am I thinking about going, and not really just worrying about like, oh, what people are going to think, or just worrying about, I don't want to say what people are going to think, not really waiting on others to be a part of this journey with me, but just focusing on my own journey and just doing what I need to do to elevate Abe, right? What can I do to elevate me? Putting myself first and focusing on my craft and focusing on how can I grow, how can I 10x even more than what I'm already doing and what I have already accomplished over these past 7 years, right? So I feel like that was a long one, but mentally, I'm doing good. I feel like I'm doing way better than what I was before. I feel like I was stressing myself out for no reason, and now I'm feeling like back to my old self, like really, well, a new and improved version of myself. I ain't gonna say my old self because we're constantly growing, right? But that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good. Let's see. So your advice for someone who feels like work is always getting in the way of trading. Now, this one, I feel like it comes a time in every trader experience, like every trader, there's a moment, either you're working or you're not working, but for the most part, everybody is always working, and it comes a period where you start to realize the job that you have, whether it's you're in meetings or whether it's your boss calling you to do something, assignments that you got to complete at work, you'll start realizing like it will get to a point where the charts, like your job is interfering with the setups that you're missing out on the charts, and you start to realize like, damn, bro, like I could have made $300 today off of this trade, and this would have been way more than what I would have made at my job. Or I could have made $1,000 today off of this setup within an hour, but here I am clocking in, and this job just made me miss that check. That actually happened to me in real life. Like I was working at on campus. I had an on-campus job, and I remember this is back when I was like helping out. It's called facilities. If you worked at MSU, I mean, if you go to MSU, you know what facilities is. So I worked at facilities at MSU, chilling, but I think we was paint rooms at the time, so I had to clean up paint rooms, and like we was in meetings and all the different stuff, right? But it started to interfere. Like my main time frame that I traded at the time was during New York session. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 8 a.m., between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. was my prime time that I traded. And it always just so happened, for whatever reason, I will either miss an entry, right? Now that I missed the entry, now I'm in the fear of missing out mode. So now I'm like trying to enter a trade late when I should have got in earlier when the set was already there, right? Or I enter the trade, I go into a meeting where I go into like I have to do a task or work, and then next thing you know, now I'm in drawdown when I come back to a trade. But I know personally, if I was paying attention on the charts, I would have closed that trade, or I would have hit TP or whatever that would have been, right? So my take on that, like my take on when you start to feel like your job is starting to slow you down, or starting to like, how do I balance it and stuff like that? I would say two options. One, quit, but I would say save up at least 6 to 12 months of bills, or at least if you want to feel like, if you want to be really aggressive with it, save up at least a year worth of bills, right? Before you quit from your job and you send in your 2 weeks. So that way you're not stressing about bills when you start focusing on going full-time trading. Option two, what I would say, if you don't want to quit your job, if you're someone that, I love my job, hey, why would I quit that? Option two, I would say, essentially, you're going to have to trade in a different session. So as y'all know, if you're trading futures, if you're trading indices, or if you're trading Forex, if you're trading currencies or cryptocurrencies, the market is open 24/7, right? So you have the opportunity to trade in a New York session. You have the opportunity to trade in the London session. You have the opportunity to trade in a Sydney session, right? All these different Tokyo session, whatever. Like you have all these different sessions that you could trade in. You might not be able to trade in New York because of work, but you may find that there's a pair out there that you can trade during Tokyo. So when you get off work, you can come hop on the charts and trade, right? So, or if you don't want to trade when you get off work because you're too tired or you want to go to the gym, right? I'll say, one, suck it up, because trading will literally change your life. But two, if you don't want to trade during Tokyo, cool. Wake up early or stay up. Actually, you can't stay up. Wake up early during London or pre-New York and trade during pre-New York session. And you can make your money that way. So that way it's not interfering with your job if you do love your job and if you do want to keep your job. So that's like my advice. Option one, quit, save at least a year worth of income and really lock in. But only do this if you genuinely are passionate about trading. You know you're going to take it serious. Don't do it if you do not have the discipline yet. If you don't have the discipline, do option two. Switch. Maybe you can't trade. Even though New York is one of the money-making times, Tokyo session is still fire and London session is still fire. You just got to figure out what pair works during that time. Right? All right. How do you stay consistent with trading when everybody around you doesn't really believe in it? Now, this one is tough because for me, like I'll say, like for me personally, I'll say this one is tough because everybody's experiences is different. For me, I feel that because there was a time back in 2018 when I first started trading, 2018, 2019 when I first started trading, right? There was a time where, bro, it was like you was either trading or you wasn't trading. You either had friends that were into trading, or you either have friends that were like, man, you one of them Forex people. You trying to get me to do this? You trying to sign me a and the whole nine, right? But then I had to realize, like, I was glad, like I appreciate it because for me, what I had was a community. I had a community to back me up. I had a community of people, like-minded individuals that wanted to learn how to trade, that wanted to get better, that wanted to grow, that wanted to not want to stay in the same situation that they was in. They wanted to change their life for the better, wherever environment they was in, right? Lucky for me, I was in college at that time, so I was already around people that was on their stuff or like really had goals, aspirations. So I was already around the right energy. But let's say for you that's asking me this, let's say you're around an environment where people aren't on the same page as you, or they don't have aspiration goals, or they're always constantly talking down on what you're trying to do. To be honest, I'll say cut them off, right? My cutoff game is strong. I have no problem cutting people off. But I literally would say, like, cut them off, distance. Or if you feel like, oh, Abe, I don't want to cut them off, distance yourself. Because you know what they say, like, you are who you hang around. The average, I forgot what the actual phrase is, like, the average 5 people that you hang around is who you're going to be. So if all your friends are rich, obviously you're going to end up being the 6th one because the energy is contagious. You're constantly talking about money. You're constantly talking about finances. You're constantly talking about getting better. You're constantly working on your health. Instead of, oh, Abe, let's go to the club. They're saying, oh, Abe, let's go hoop. Let's go work out. Oh, Abe, let's link up and let's look at the charts. Right? What type of conversations are you having with your friends? And if they are talking down on your dreams and your goals, that negative energy can be the reason that's holding you back or why you're not trading or being consistent when you're trading. And I feel that energy for me is like a huge thing. Like if I could feel somebody's negative energy, or if I could feel somebody's like or not really respecting minds, or feel like they don't have that, they're not on that same type of time as me trying to grow. They want to stay complacent. They want to stay lazy. They want to stay having a victim mindset. If I feel that energy, I do not need you around me, and I'm not going to be around you. I'm going to distance myself from you because right now I have to put me first. I have to lock in and focus on me. Right? So if you have people around you that's like that, cut them off. Focus on yourself. Lock in for 6 months. Or if you, like I said, you ain't got to cut them off. Just tell them, hey, I'm about to lock in right now. I hit you back when I can. I want to really like focus up. It's nothing personal, but I got to do this for me. And they're either going to respect it or they're not going to respect it. And if they can't respect you trying to be better yourself and better your life, then they aren't your friend anyway. Right? So that's my thoughts on that. All right. Let's get into some trading questions. I feel like I've been talking a lot of psychology stuff. Let's get into some trading questions. How do you decide which time frame matters most when the charts look different on each one? So for this question, it's pretty simple. I talk about this on YouTube a lot, but I always start on my higher time frames. The higher the time frame, the bigger the move, or the higher the time frame, the more clarity you're gonna have, right? So beginners, we all always start the same way. We always think, let me go my 1 minute, let me go my 5 minute, let me trade there. Like I want to be in and out. I want to see my money quick. No, or yes, but no. Right? I would rather you start on the higher time frame. So let's go 4 hour, let's go 1 hour time frame. Once you're on the 4 hour and 1 hour time frame and you identify what the overall trend is, you find your key supports, you find your key resistance, then you drop down to your 5 minutes, your 15-minute time frames. And these are going to be the time frames that you're looking for to find your entries on the charts. This is what you're going to use to show you when the market is pulling back to set you up for the trade that you're looking for, or when is the market ready to go for like a continuation. So that way, if you're digging on a 4 hour, you're not just entering the trade right now and then all of a sudden you're in drawdown. You're like, oh my gosh, the market supposed to be going for buys. Why is it selling off like this? Why is it drawing down? Like, why is it pulling me back like this? Because if you would have went to that lower time frame, like you said, this is how you focus on between the different time frames. If you would have went to that 5 minute or the 15, you would have saw that it was at a resistance level on the 5 minute and the 15 minute time frame. So instead, you wait for that pullback and then you take your entry. And now you got you a sniper entry that plays into the overall trend of the market. All right, next question. Do you confirm a breakout so you don't get faked out? I'm mad because I kind of rhymed. How do you confirm a breakout so you don't get faked out? For me, I always wait for the break and close. That was arguably, actually not arguably, it was, and it still is. That's the main thing I teach in my academy. That is the main thing I used to, when I had my cylinder shot, that was the main thing I always said. Wait for the break and close of the candlestick before you enter. So if the market is breaking out of the zone, let's say we use the 5 minute or the 15 minute, let's say 15. Let's say we're on a 15 minute time frame. If the market is breaking out of the zone and it does not close under that zone, if that candlestick pushes, and all of a sudden there's a huge wick that pulls back, or all of a sudden it closes back inside that zone, that is trying to fake you out. That is trying to get you into that manipulation before you, like, most people will sell off of that breakout and then you get pulled back and then all of a sudden it goes for the reversal. What I can say besides that, besides waiting for the close of the candlestick, you will start to notice patterns, right? The more you study your pair, the more you like really start to understand how it moves, you'll start to notice like areas where, oh, it want to retest this zone first and then it's going to take off. And this goes for buys and sells. There's been time, I could say for NQ, for example, for Nas, there's been times where I've seen Nas, I may have caught early in this, and I learned this from experience, right? I've taken losses on this because I entered early, and I've also had trades where I was in drawdown before getting back in profit, and then I started to notice the pattern on Nas. So pay attention to what I'm saying right now. Nas 100, around 8:30 or 9 a.m., it will start to sell off, right? Making you think that it's ready to go for the sales. Like it'll be like that breakout that you talked about, right? So you get that sell breakout, and then by opening bell, there's a big old pullback that happens for the buy. And all the buy is just a manipulation candlestick, hitting all those pending orders, hitting all those stop loss for people that enter the sales early, right? Just for around 10 a.m., 10:30-ish, the market is going to dump again and go for the continuation, right? And then in that same instance, from me learning my pair, I started to understand that, okay, cool. This, even though it looked like it's breaking out right now, anticipate the pullback first, and then I look for that continuation. Right? And then if it does break out, cool. Make sure it actually closes. Wait for that candlestick to actually close. And then you take the trade off of that. That's how you protect yourself. And that's how you start to notice, like, when is it really faking me out? And when is it actually going for the move? I'm going to do like, let me see how many questions I answered. I'm kind of moving quick. The video kind of long, so I ain't going to make it too long for y'all. I'm sorry. But I feel like I'm giving y'all gas. So y'all probably going to love this. I know y'all is. What made you stick with trading when most people quit? So this question is another good one. For me, what made me stick to it when most people quit. So for those that don't know, I was a part of a company, right? I ain't gonna disclose, no free plug. I was a part of a company where you can either trade or you can focus on like getting people to join the company and you can make money that way. I was always the person that focused on trading. I got people to join my company as well back then, but it was more so people invested in me. The same way you're watching my YouTube channel, people rocked with me because they understood that I was a person that really truly cared about the skill and really truly loved trading. So for the people that quit, they never really learned the skill, or they quit because their heart wasn't really in the right place with it. For me, I wasn't quitting because I knew the overall vision. And like I said, I had success early on the chart, so I was averaging $100 a day off of GU. Like I'm talking about, I would place a trade at 2 a.m. in the morning, London session. I would take my buys, I'd take my sales. It didn't matter which way it was. I had my strategy was so perfect. I could place a trade. I don't set stop loss. I go to bed. I wake up every morning at 8 a.m. and I promise you my chart was up $100. 110, 120 every single morning when I woke up. Like, I'm getting a core memory right now just thinking about that. If I could find screenshots, actually no, I'm not gonna put it in here. Go to my Instagram and it's gonna be in my story. You're gonna see in my go through my trading highlight on my Instagram page. I don't know the title of it, but it's only one highlight right there. And you'll see, like, I was literally averaging, like, I was literally waking up $100 a day, another $100 a day, another $100 a day. And for me, like I said, why would I quit when I could see the opportunity right in front of my face? Like, that was a no-brainer. No-brainer for sure. And I knew the power of if I knew what I knew now back then, oh my gosh, I would have just 10x everything. But that's how we learn and why we grow. Next question. I got 2 more questions I'm gonna do, then I'm gonna stop. So, next question, what was the hardest lesson you learned from blowing the account? The hardest lesson I learned from blowing the account, I would say probably, I'm trying to think back then. Because back then, honestly, I still didn't even learn my lesson. I was working, so I had capital to waste and capital to spend. But I think the biggest lesson I learned was, because I don't really blow accounts now. The hardest lesson I learned back then, blowing the accounts at first, was start setting stop loss, and then 2, I always ran away from trading NFP. Because back then I started to realize, like, when I was trading currencies, for whatever reason, I kept taking L's during NFP. Constantly was blowing accounts, or like literally having accounts like go all the way down to the bare minimum, and then me having to scale it back up. I'm trying to think what else. Set stop loss back then. NFP. But combines, I guess I could say, because we could say losing combine accounts, we could say that too. When it comes to taking combines, I learned that for me, because I'm used, like, the capital I have now, it's easy for me to, like, let it trade. I can be in drawdown and I'm chilling because I understand where the overall trend is going. But for combines, especially, like, let's say Top Step, for example, you have to be very particular on, like, setups you take, because if you don't, right, let's say I take a trade too early, kind of like what I just said earlier with the NQ. If I take a trade too early and I get caught in a pullback, I can lose my account based off of that, because I'm risking, like, I have a high risk I'm risking on combines, right? So if I'm over leveraging on a combine account and it pulls back, I have to learn to, 1, stop over leveraging. So what I would do, instead of trading like on the main pair, like NQ, instead of trading like the mini, I would go trade the micro. I don't know if I'm saying that backwards or not, but I go to trade, instead of trading NQ, I would go trade MNQ, and then I'll only risk like a 5 contract, right? So that way I'm only risking like $200, $300 in the trade, but my risk to reward is I'm gonna make $1,500 to $2,000 on the trade. Versus on the NQ, when I used to call them drawdown, even though my drawdown still be like, no, my drawdown over there would be like, let's say maybe like $1,000 or $700 to $1,000, depending on however I have it set up. But technically, if I'm on my express account, the profit target would be easily $2,500 to $4,000. So my risk to reward is cool. But for those that know the rules over there for Top Step, if I'm risking $1,000, that means I will only have another $1,000 in drawdown to, like, risk on. So you gotta be careful with that. So what I learned for blowing combine accounts will be, don't trade the aggressive pair, trade just the mini version of that, or the micro. I don't know, I keep forgetting the terminology. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Because this is my first for real full year of me trading futures. So the terminologies I still gotta remember, but I'm pretty sure it's the micro. I can't remember right now, but I'm just saying MNQ is what I trade if I'm trying to be disciplined with how I trade versus trading the full NQ. So for you might be trading the NQ and you don't even realize how volatile that pair is. But if you go down to the MNQ, you can have a steeper stop loss, a stop loss with more breathing room. So if a pullback come, you're okay, you're not tripping. Pullback come, and then the trend goes in the direction you actually want to go in. And then vice versa, same thing for the buys. If sales come first, cool. Enter the buys down here, take the trade, and then as it starts to show you that the market is pushing up, then you add on to those positions, or vice versa. As it starts to show you that the market is going down for the downtrend, then you add on to those positions for the downtrend. So the next question, what should I look for in finding a mentor to teach me how to trade? What should I look for in finding a mentor to teach me how to trade? So this is a good one because it's kind of tough, right? It ain't really tough out here, but because I don't personally have a trading mentor, I am the mentor now, but if I was a new person learning how to trade, if I was looking to find someone to mentor me and teach me how to trade again, I want you to focus on somebody that's like same thing similar to my background. Like focus on somebody that cares about the skill, that's really trading, that you're seeing educational videos on, they're posting online, they're giving you some type of value for free or some type of ideas showing you that they know what they're talking about. Because a lot of you people, I'm gonna say all of y'all, but it's a lot of people on social media that will make you think like you might see this person flashy, they might have the nice cars or they might have the nice houses or the nice jewelry or the nice designer clothes on every single day. But deep down, you don't know what's the real. They might just doing it. They might just be doing that for a brand image, right? They might literally just might be doing that for a brand image. Whole time they don't have a real strategy, or their strategy isn't really that consistent, or they don't really care. But people see the Lambos and the Ferraris, and they see all the nice cars or all the nice houses that somebody's putting on social media, and all of a sudden they think that's the person that know how to trade compared to somebody else that actually is teaching the skill and they don't got the bigger following. It's crazy like how life works like that. It's the same thing like with popular people versus the nerd. Whole time the nerd is the smarter one, but people want to go to the people that look like they got it going on. Whole time the individuals over here do not have it going on for real. Y'all be surprised how many of your favorite influencers probably can't even trade for real. And they don't care about really trading for real because they have a large capital now because they take the capital? I can't even talk. They take the capital from once you buy their course, once you buy their sentence chat, right? So I would say find somebody that you see, like maybe you follow them for a couple months on whatever platform that they talk about trading on the most. So if they don't post on Instagram about trading, see if they got a YouTube channel, right? See if they promote on YouTube, right? But some type of value. They need to show you some type of strategy that they're using or an idea of what they're doing, that they know how they're talking. They need to show you that they're engaging with students somehow. They need to show you that they're maybe hosting live calls, live trading sessions. Me personally, I don't really host. Actually, it's funny that I'm saying that. I actually am bringing my live trading sessions back. So if you're watching this video, you're finding out for the first time, I am bringing the live trading session back within the next week or so. The live trading session will be back for the fourth quarter. So that's very exciting. But I will say, like, see if they're doing hosting live calls or hosting live trading sessions. Some traders, like, depending on how high profile they are, they might not host live trading sessions anymore because, like, if they're like kind of like how I was, it gets to a point where it's like, just really don't, we're doing it for the community, we're doing it for the people. The reason why I stopped was personally, I'm gonna say that for the next question, because the next question ties into the kind of like the final question that everybody literally has been asking me. So what I'll say is look for the person that's focusing on live trading session, or like can show you that they're actually like a student of the craft. They took in losses, they're showing you losses. But obviously they're showing you winnings, because I would say losses show that, okay, like one, they're human, and two, if I'm a trader that's losing, that means I know why I'm learning why I'm losing, and I'm not going to make that same mistake again. If I'm always winning, when a loss comes, I might not know how to correct that, right? So I'm going to leave you with that, and then I'm going to say the final question, which is what I was about to answer. Somebody asked, what made you get rid of your Signal chat, and would you bring it back? What made me get rid of my Signal chat, and would I bring it back? So, I'm funny. Nah, but for real, what made me really get rid of, like, the real authentic answer, what really made me get rid of my Signal chat is, like I said, one, I wanted to truly, like, focus on myself and just really focus on, like, really bettering myself and growing mentally, spiritually, and just, like, having fun, like, with life instead of just, like, focusing on calling trades on a consistent basis. So that's, like, the mental health behind it. Two, the real other reason besides the mental health part was I wasn't really feeling too appreciated when I was giving away trades every single day. So I had a couple mentees or a couple of people that was members that would DM me telling me like, oh, hey, I appreciate the Signal chat. I appreciate what you're doing. Like they having 5K days, 10K days off my Signals alone, which was an amazing feeling. But ultimately, all of the trades I was sending out, all of the people that were in the chats for the most part, it wasn't really a lot. I probably had about, combined across all of my chats, I probably say 100 members, about 20, 30 people in each chat. And I didn't charge a monthly fee back then either. It was just a one-time fee, right? So, but once I started feeling like I wasn't really getting appreciated for the value that I was pushing out, that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just close this chapter and I'm gonna focus on people that's actually serious about learning how to trade and really focus on my personal mentorship, and then also focusing on the in-class trainings and the in-person like training, like hands-on experience, because that way I can really see the people's lives I'm impacting. They're talking, we're communicating, we're going back and forth, and we're basically like people that appreciate the skill and I really love the craft, versus people that's every now and then or a couple months they go by, then they hop in the chat like, oh, like you caught a trade, da da da, or boom, 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 boom. Right? So that was the reason why I closed that chapter. I was putting a lot of energy into that, and I didn't really feel the energy back. Maybe in the future, like, would I bring this in the chat back? I ain't gonna say never, because I actually did. Like, I love calling trades. So I still call trades for my personal mentees. I have my own personal mentee chat called the Sniper Squad chat. So when y'all see me post on Instagram, that's what that chat is. But I'm not gonna say never. I will bring it back. Like, as I grow my community more on YouTube, or like as I grow this channel on YouTube, if there's a group of you guys, like a group, as the community grow, and there's more people that's interested in me calling trades again, that's actually genuinely gonna be willing for it, I might consider bringing this in the chat back. But for now, honestly, I don't even know. I probably won't, unless I hire on my team of other traders that I already have in mind that can run the chats with me. That'll probably be the only other way I bring it back. I got a team in mind already, a few people that I'm already looking at, that I already talked to about, if I was to bring it back, you're gonna run this chat, you're gonna run this chat, I'm gonna run this chat, and that's how we're gonna do it like that. But for now, I am gonna be bringing back the live trading sessions, because the live trading, I trade every day regardless if I'm calling trades in the center chat or not. So for me, through the live trading session, I don't have to test the chat. We're actually on a live call. We're in real time. I'm calling out the trades that I'm taking. I'm telling y'all the trades that I'm taking. And it's just gonna be that. The moment we make money for the day, we done for the day. And the call is gonna be over with that quick. Right? I might call another setup, but honestly, the way I trade now, I look for about 1 or 2 trades a day. I'm not looking for extra, because there's no need. The moment you start looking for extra, it's how you start giving money back to the markets. And we're all about profit over here. We're not trying to deal with no losses on the charts if we can control it. Right? So I'm gonna leave you with that. I appreciate everybody that asked me these questions. Like I said, I have fun answering every single one. Like, I didn't even realize how long I was recording this video, but this is good. I feel like these are questions like I wish my younger self would have heard, or like answers that I answered. I feel like these are answers like that I would have appreciated back then. So I hope one of you gained value from this video. If y'all did, leave a like. If you're new here, subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next vlog. Peace out.